This video is all about understanding wind. I want you to be able to understand how meteorologists map it and see it. Since wind is just moving air and we can't see the air, we have to have some sort of standardized method to see where it's going and where it's coming from. With that said, I want to start out with an example. So let's say that someone tells you, say a meteorologist says that the wind is west wind at 10 knots. Let's say he tells you that. So what does that mean? What that means is the wind is from the west at 10 knots. And usually we're talking about a specific location. So let's get a little more specific. Let's talk about a location. So for instance, let's put Missouri on here. And let's also remind ourselves about the wind direction. The directions. So north is up, south is down, and so forth. So a west wind at 10 knots. We're talking about a specific location. In order to talk about that specific location, we're going to put a small dot on the map. Now that dot is going to represent that spot in Missouri. So a west wind at 10 knots. The best way to approach understanding this is think of an arrow. Someone shot an arrow through that point, and there is a wind that is going that direction, and maybe we've got some little fletching here on the back for our arrow, and it's shot through that point. Now, the thing is, in meteorology, we do not care about where the wind is going. We only care about where the wind is coming from. So we are going to completely eliminate this. We don't care about this side. We don't care about where it's going. We want to know what is coming. So we look at what's coming upstream. The next thing is if I put a whole bunch of dots on here, I'm going to clutter this map up quite a bit. So I want to eliminate as much as possible. So I'm going to eliminate one side of that arrow. And so all I get is this one-sided fletching, these barbs that are on the back. And what we have now is a wind barb. It is pointing to the west, but the wind is coming, that means the wind is coming from the west. And then the number of arrows back here tells me, the number of fletching on the back of that barb tells me the speed. So 10 knots. 10 knots. Let me draw this up for you. 10 knots. If I want to draw a 10-knot wind, I will draw it from the west, right, because it's a west wind, and then a 10-knot wind will have one long barb, and that's what a 10-knot wind from the west will look like. Let's jump up to 15. Let's say someone tells you that there is a north wind at 15 knots. Well, if I follow the same pattern and I have my little dot, and then I say, remember I imagine that this arrow went through there, I just draw where it's coming from. Now I've got the direction it's coming from. Now I need to do the speed. So speed, well, we know there's 10, so we've got this one long barb, and 5. 5 is a short barb, so it looks a little bit like an F. So that is 15. One long one, one short one. Let's keep going with these examples. Let's say there's winds from the southeast at 25 knots. How do I draw that? In order to draw that on a map, it would look something like the dot. Now the southeast is down this direction. Remember, that's the direction it's coming from. So it's from the southeast at 10, 20, 25. Alright, now if we move up to numbers that are much larger, say the southeast at 55 knots, I will draw, remember, start with a point. Once we have the point, it's from the southeast, so we draw our direction that's coming from towards the southeast. Now 55, in order to draw 50, you have to draw a triangle. It's going to look like a little flag on the back. Now that's 50. And then we need 5 more, so just a little thing. So that's 55. The last example I have for you is a ridiculous one. Ridiculous for the surface. You'll never see this wind at the surface unless something records a tornado. But you will have you will see these winds in the upper atmosphere, but we'll never have a surface chart. We'll never have a what's called a station model plot up at the surface, because I'm sorry, up in the upper atmosphere, because it's not the surface. So anyway, a west wind at 155 knots. This is just a ludicrous example for you. From the west, so we draw it towards the west, 155. So 150, so that's 3 50s and then a short one. So flag, flag. This is going to get too short here. Flag. So 50, 100, 150, 155. That's what 155 knots would look like if you were to draw the wind barb on the surface. Now, why do we do all that? Let me show you something I use every single day at my forecasting. This is it's called weather.rap.ucar.edu, or it's basically a university collaboration for atmospheric research. That aside, I use it when I forecast the weather. Particularly, you see the surface here. You'll see these types of maps all the time. And if you look right now, this is current in Missouri. The winds are from the southwest here, from the southeast here, from the south at this location. So we use this station model all the time. The rest of the symbols on here we'll learn as we go. They're temperature, dew point, there's pressure on there. The little dots right here mean rain. It's raining right now in Missouri. We will get to some of that in class, but that is how you interpret, and that is how you draw the winds on the surface using the wind barbs. So hopefully that is helpful. If you have any more questions, there are additional references inside the online classroom. You will need to know this from basically week 1 through the end of the class. So review this, ask me questions, or try to just mark this as a reference. After that, enjoy the rest of class.